Hi folks. As we sent out our survey last week, we were asking what particular areas you guys wanted to recover as the areas for revision, and the top one was respiration that we covered last week, and then the second highest was gene expression. So this is what we're going to look at today. Okay, so when we break down what we mean by the term gene expression, so first and foremost we're talking about the genetics. Okay, so again, as we know from previous lessons, almost all cells in the body have a nucleus, and within that nucleus there is genetic material, okay, and this is what we relate to the DNA molecule that has, this constant sequence of bases or nucleotides, and what that's doing is that's coding for particular things that our body needs, okay. So what we're going to look at is that although we talk about the body as a whole, we're also talking about the proteins that individual cells need. So for us to be able to make those proteins, we have to be able to have a code within our genetic material, within our cell, to be able to produce those proteins, okay? So when we talk about the gene being expressed, we're talking about the genetics, the code, okay? Basically, whether it is switched on or off. Okay, so gene expression, all right? So first of all, let's have a wee think and a wee kind of flashback to what you would have seen this diagram in class, okay? So you've got your initial gene, and gene expression, okay, as we said, is that specific order of nucleotides, so specific sequence of bases, okay? And what you would have recognised as well, or maybe remembered from National 5, is that what we talk about, which creates a organism's genotype, okay? That specific sequence of bases or nucleotides that makes up that cell or that organism's phenotype, so the way that it looks, okay? So when we talk about expression, okay, so the gene being expressed, okay, which is going to lead to the protein being produced, okay, and then finally phenotype, all right, so that is the specific proteins that produces the cell's phenotype, or you'll maybe remember this as the physical characteristics. Okay, so the gene an organism has, whether that gene is expressed or not, and if it is, that's going to give that cell or that organism a specific phenotype. So again, the way we try to explain in class is G for gene, G for genotype, P for phenotype, P for physical, okay? And if this individual gene is expressed, i.e. switched on, okay, essentially, to get the protein, it has to go through protein synthesis, okay? So here I have my gene expressed. I'm going to go through a process called transcription, okay? Transcription provides a molecule called mRNA. I'm going to go over that further in a wee minute, okay? mRNA therefore then goes and travels to the ribosome. It goes through a process called translation, and then we get our, squeeze it in here, protein produced. Okay, so what we mean by gene expression is being able to have an organism or a cell's phenotype looking a certain way, acting a certain way, the structure, the function of that cell or that organism because of the genes that are actually expressed. So for instance, the example we would give in class, a sperm cell has a tail. So i.e. it needs a tail to be mobile and travel to go and try and fertilise an egg. So the whole point is that the gene for that cell to have a tail and to be able to be mobile is switched on. Whereas a liver cell does not need to be mobile, so the gene that would require it to have that physical characteristic, that structure, to be mobile, to have a tail, would be therefore switched off. Okay?